Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark Intermissions. Tonight, we have 2 scenes planned. The first scene is actually going to show what happens when Tally shows up at Nolan Wilhelm's penthouse suite. And then the second scene is actually going to show the aftermath of where the season 3 finale ended. You're going to find out what the coterie does, what happens when Just Car Lucinda shows up, and 1 or 2 additional things. So please, enjoy tonight's intermissions. Good evening, and for this intermission, we're actually going to flash back to, well, the night that Nolan fell in the penthouse. And of course, for this scene, I am not only the storyteller for this scene, but I will also be playing Tally, the boogeyman of the Sabbat.
And I am Relendair, and I am playing tonight, well, I'm doing a reprisal of a character I played in another chronicle, DC by Night. I am playing Lillian Sanger, Toreador, former Primogen of DC and now Legate of Marcus Vital.
I'm Astral Aberration on Twitch and Discord, and I will be reprising my role as Philip Carlson, also known as Nolan Wilhelm.
And it's early in the evening, technically, before midnight at least, and you're in this penthouse of a nice 5-star hotel. And Lucian was in the back cleaning up after you had had your sleep. He's always puttering around in this penthouse. But it seems generally quiet. Now, just a few nights before, you actually had Etienne show up, who came to tell you that you needed to run. Of course, you did tell him you would take it under advisement, but it doesn't seem like you've done a lot of packing to run yet, though I do believe you have removed something that you normally keep in the bedroom, and you have it nearby at all times now in your suite.
Mm-hmm. On my table is a sword that was obtained after the fall of Marcus Vital,
The sword.
belonging to
Kristoff.
Kristoff.
Yes. The one that was used to hack Vital to pieces by Theo Bell. You've retained it all this time through all the moves. And while you're going about in your penthouse, suddenly you hear a brief noise and then a crash. And when you turn to look, you see Lucian has been thrown through the bedroom door that had led into the main penthouse area. And he's lying on the floor unconscious.
There is a moment of shock on Nolan's face, but he recovers himself. He picks up the sword and stands with it, almost like a cane in front of him, neck between the sofa and table he was sitting at.
And stepping into the room is a man. You've never met him personally, but you recognize him. You know by reputation, by looks, the brand on his head gives it away. Hey, old son.
So, the hound has been set off his leash.
Well, you know, I'm sure you understood at the time he wouldn't forget. And though you thought you won, you know now you didn't. So yeah, I guess you could say I'm here to fix a few things. It's nothing personal, chap. I'm sure you understand.
Sent out on the hunt by your master in Baltimore.
Yes, indeed. And behind him, I will let Lily describe what she's wearing tonight. A woman steps that you don't no, you have not been in D.C. to recognize her.
Yeah, she was already in Baltimore by the time he landed there. You see a short woman, curvy, very pale, with unnaturally sparkling golden eyes, wearing a pinstriped wiggle dress with roses embroidered around the collar. Good evening.
Good evening. Is this to be a menage a trois, then?
Oh no, I'm just here to watch. I'm a voyeur.
May I present?
Well, I hope we entertain.
Before our festivities and this begins, we can be a little pleasant here. Allow me to introduce Lillian Sanger.
Legate of Marcus Vital.
One that, well, you tower types throughout. It is the Prefect Vital. He stopped calling himself Emperor at least. Has decided you were fools to get rid of.
I am sure the tower had their reasons, but it is nice to make your acquaintance, Miss Sanger.
Oh. That's unusual to hear. Most people quite find it displeasant to make my acquaintance. I know Stanford Warwick and his line surely didn't enjoy it.
No, I had heard about that. Not much of a shame for the tower, though.
Indeed. I did the tower a favor, and look at what it got me.
However, I'm certain that you transgressed in a way that made you unviable as one of our own.
That matters little now.
So, now
Indeed.
that we're done some pleasantries. You're armed. That's Kristoff's sword, I believe, isn't it?
I thought you would recognize it.
Oh,
I've been keeping it handy for an event such as this one.
I ran into Kristoff more than once back in the day. You've caught me. Well, no, actually. And he reaches behind his back and he pulls out a pair of daggers. Rather curved, wicked-looking blades. I guess I'll use these then. We'll make it somewhat fair for now, I guess. Anything else pleasantries we want to do before we start this?
I'll keep an eye on the ghoul. You handle your job.
No, I think we can begin our happy little dance. And with that, Nolan will rouse for toughness.
Okay. Just start rousing up some powers. Now, you've had enough time to rouse for more than that if you want to rouse for other ones, but we'll start with your toughness. And you get hungrier. And the beast only snarls in your head. This fucking lackey. Vitel can't even send himself. He's got to send a dog. Let's put this dog down.
He will also rouse for Defy Bane and Shatter.
Good. Ah, and the hunger is coming.
Ow.
Now, wait a minute, because let me double check here. Your blood potency is
roll
4.
2.
So level 2s and below, your toughness, you can re-roll your toughness.
Mm-hmm.
And you still did not get less hungry.
But I can't re-roll for
Defy Bane or the other. Right. You can't re-roll Shatter or Defy Bane. Those. So are you going to roll Defy Bane? I'm going to pull off 1 hunger because there you go. Oh, man. You went straight to 4 hunger right off. Wow.
You can see it in Nolan's face. He's baring his teeth. And sort of like there's a faint sound as they grind together.
And Pally starts stepping into you. And there's a grace to his movement. He's definitely somebody who's fought with knives a lot. So I guess let's talk about our actions this turn. I assume you're going to try to sword him.
I think Nolan's first step actually will be with one hand, he'll take the table and he'll toss it towards Tally.
Okay. So I'll let you roll. Let's go Death Athletics for that toss at him. And if you do well, it'll mess up his ability to fight back at least.
Mm-hmm.
Let me roll on this real quick. I need to roll stamina plus survival, huh? You got 6. He doesn't try to dodge it. And your table slams into him, but he doesn't move. He doesn't budge. It almost bounces off him. It's almost as if doesn't work at all on him. Though it does inflict damage to him. I'm going to make a note of some damage done to him. Because though it's halved because it's not a mortal weapon, and his own toughness will take it off, there's minimums. And when it hits him, it doesn't even budge him at all. He used the power, by the way, Obdurate, which allows him to ignore. He becomes immovable and almost breaks the laws of physics. You haven't seen that power used much. You've seen other kindred do it. It's just not often. And he comes in. The table doesn't even really... I'll give him because he was hit by the table, he didn't try to dodge it, even though it didn't move him. I'll give him this round a 2-die penalty to his attack on you. I think that sounds reasonable. And I guess it's time to fight this one, right? Let's see. That's a plus. I don't want to give him plus 2 dice. That would be not fair. I'm rolling So you can roll dex melee or strength melee. I let you decide.
Considering I still have the weapon in hand, would I be able to ready that with both hands and apply bladed weapons?
Yeah, there was a distance between you. So when he had the approach, that was when you threw the table. So you have enough time to use your bladed weapons and come in with a full attack. You threw the table during the intervening movements.
Ooh.
Nice roll, 6.
Oh, I
Messy
willpower
crit,
that.
though.
I would willpower that.
And,
Yeah.
yep. You have 1 extra die you can roll, by the way, because it does not have your specialization.
So roll
1
4
die.
die.
Just roll 1 die, yep.
Or 1 and
then re-roll,
willpower.
then you can roll 3. So yeah, you can roll 4 dice if you want, or just roll 1 and then roll 3 more for the willpower.
I will roll the... Oh,
and roll 1 more.
okay.
Right click on the black die and click 1 and just drop it on chat.
Yep. This is Astral's first time
Really rolling with his
rolling
character.
with Fantasy Grounds. He's going to get to use all the good shit.
Oh,
I didn't see
you
a
see
roll.
that?
Nope.
No.
You got to
Okay.
drop it right on the chat window. If
Gotta
you don't
drop
drop it on chat, if you
it
drop it
doesn't
anywhere on
count.
the screen, well, it doesn't show us.
Yeah.
It's for a hidden roll for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you've got 7 successes with a crit. It's a messy crit, which won't matter in this one. He got 7 successes, but no crit. So the crit, it goes in your favor for the crit because you beat him with a crit. So you come in with the sword and the two of you meet. And as the sword comes in, he actually blocks it with his daggers, but unfortunately doesn't block well enough. The sheer force of the blow pushes his daggers aside a bit, and the sword bites into his shoulder. Since it was even, you're just going to get the margin of damage. So it's going to be 3 damage to him, but because it's Kristoff's sword, it's not halved, non-halved damage. But of course, he gets to subtract his toughness because it's still superficial. But it cuts his shoulder. And he actually jumps back after that blow, and he gets a look of respect in his eyes for a second.
I will make you fight every last inch.
First blood goes to you, I guess. I was thinking this would be easy. Well, it's a challenge then. I like
to
this.
disappoint you.
Oh, I'm not disappointed. I enjoy a real fight. Most of your kind go down way too easy.
And Nolan will ready his sword.
Tally drops one of his daggers and just has one readied now. And he steps in again. This time you'll notice he's not as cocky stepping in. He's a little bit more wary of the sword, trying to give it the respect it's due because of the added reach that you have. I will turn off his die penalty, and we will come at it again. See what we got. Not bad. Okay, you can roll your, I believe for Philip, you definitely are a strength brawler, so it'd be your strength melee with a +1 again.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to risk surging when you're at 4 hunger.
No. Wow. Oof.
3 that time.
That's a willpower.
Yeah, might as well use the willpower now, huh?
Burn it.
Wow.
We're going to have a talk with Mr. Perry. 3 successes.
Yeah, bought that infection.
And so, all your successes were actually on your blood dice. So it's the beast who managed to land a blow, technically. He comes in with the dagger. Now, using only one dagger, it's very hard for him to block your attack. You actually do manage to connect, which is a problem. Because when you connect, his other hand that he had put the dagger down with snakes out and grabs your arm. And let me pull up my power to make sure I'm doing the correct amount of damage here. And when he does, you take 2 aggravated damage. Now you have Defy Bane up. Let me double check the power of Defy Bane. I want to make sure that it's what it protects against. It does convert aggravated damage. Temporarily resistant to fire, sunlight, and other grievous wounds. So it becomes superficial. Yep. It does not reduce by toughness because of this one. So you take 2 superficial damage, but because you had Defy Bane up, you didn't take the aggravated, so your limb did not wither. But you felt it get weaker. You felt what he was trying to do. You are not crippled, though.
For a moment, Nolan sort of, he remembers this sensation in his arm. He's felt this before. He looks down at it in horror for a moment, but then readies himself swiftly.
Now, Tally did take damage from that blow. Took 2 more superficial after his reduction because he really wasn't trying to stop more than a half-hearted attempt with his dagger. It was really just to make it look like he was defending so the other arm could come out. So, as of now, he has taken another sword blow. But this time he doesn't back up to talk. He stays in the middle of it. Now, your Defy Bane is gone for now. Until you are willing, if you're willing to rouse it again. That is your question. Now, you could also wait to activate it the next time he touches you, which is a Wit Survival difficulty 3. But it's whether... We'll see if he manages to touch you again. Because if you go hungry again, you will drop the sword as you frenzy. Yep. So, again, he's right up on you. And since he's already touched you once, you know what he's trying to do now. I'm going to switch him, though, to Brawl now. Because he's not using his knife really anymore. He's done past that fool or that trick. And for those that are unfamiliar with V5, combat, there's no initiative in V5. Combat is pretty much simultaneous. So we both do our attacks and then we look at the die results and it determines who gets hit. And in Tally's case, because he switched over to using something different, he's not really trying to hurt Nolan bare hand or with his actual knife anymore. He's actually just trying to touch him again. I've rolled his dice. Do I want to willpower that? No, I'll leave that where it's at for him. We'll see what Nolan gets.
Okay.
Though I will say, Tally has already taken 4 superficial. So you're 2 superficial. You are definitely giving more than you've taken.
Nolan probably doesn't suspect that will last much longer. He knows by reputation what this kindred is capable of. But he will fight to the last.
4 successes. I assume you're going to willpower the 2 dice that you failed on? Might as well. It's a fight to the death. Use your willpower while you can. Very nice.
Okay, up
6
to
successes.
6.
And it's a tie. And in this case, because it's a tie, you manage to connect with the sword once again. And this time the sword cuts deep. But he also manages to touch you at the same time. Are you going to attempt to activate Defy Bane in response? This is why I love V5.
Mm-hmm.
You have to debate. If you fail arouse, you'll frenzy. If you don't fail arouse, you're going to touch Oblivion again. And this time it'll take full effect. So, it's a risk management game. Do you activate Defy Bane? You can try with a wit survival. If you fail, then if you fail your wit survival roll difficulty 3, you don't have a choice. You might as well just roll that first just to see. Wits plus survival.
Then.
Two successes would not be enough. So you would either have to willpower or not activate it.
Oof. Willpower. Definitely willpower.
Willpower that one?
And that didn't help.
Nope. So you don't have a choice. It does not activate this turn. And as your blade cuts deep into Tally, I mean, you're up close, but you still manage to swing it and catch him good in the side. It hurts him pretty bad this time. He still manages to touch your sword arm. And this time you take 2 aggravated damage as your sword arm withers. And turns old and decayed. Now you can still fight with your sword in the offhand, but you're going to be at a 3-die penalty for using it because you're crippled with your main limb. This time he does jump back a little and looks at the hole in his side. Well, boy, you're definitely a step up above most.
I was trained for this.
You've done better, well, than a lot have. Looks like...
Let's see if I can remove some of those limbs of yours while I'm at it.
Well, I've already taken yours. I guess you've been here before, sword in hand, weakened limb. And this time he drops the other dagger and he just holds his hands out and comes in with both hands. And for the viewers out there, I'm going to say, Nolan is tough. He doesn't have a lot of flashy combat powers. Technically, neither does Tally other than Oblivion. That's his combat ability. But what Nolan does have is a lot of toughness. He is way ahead right now in terms of health. I'm going to roll Brawl. Coming in again. I'll let that stand. No willpower for Tally on this one. And one thing I suggest to all players out there and storytellers should always roll first and make the decision on whether the willpower before you see the players roll so that you don't allow seeing what the players roll to influence whether you willpower or not, because that's kind of cheating to willpower to beat them after you find out they beat you. I don't do that.
How do I modify it down to -3?
The mod -1 and -2.
Click -1 and 2.
Okay, yeah.
And it will take out 3 dice.
Oof.
This time, the weakened arm, as you go to swing the sword, it gives way on you. And Tally ducks under the blow easy. And instead of his hands touching your other arm, he actually grabs your leg. Causes it to wither.
And I think at this stage, Nolan might fall to one knee. The sword will be almost a crutch at this moment as he tries to raise himself back up. And he will, once he's haphazardly raised himself, he'll let the sword fall and he'll be trying to steady his balance. And he is going to rouse for prowess.
Okay.
Let's see what happens here.
Gotta take the risk of the hunger. I don't blame you. It's a fight for your life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ooh, and it's a lost
500.
battle.
Which means we're going to roll for frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have the option. You can roll to fight the frenzy, or you can roll with it. If you roll with it, you get to control the character. You just have to operate under the context of frenzy. If you fail it, I'm going to roll.
You're not making tactical decisions when you're in frenzy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a question of whether you want to control your character or I will dictate your actions. Really, It's up to you. I will let you do which one you want.
Mm-hmm. He will try and resist. So that's... how many do I get in my unspent willpower?
You can actually just hit frenzy. There's a frenzy checkbox on Fantasy Grounds. You just click it, and it actually accounts for not only your willpower stuff, but it accounts for your humanity as well. It does it all part of it.
Okay.
Quite nice, actually. Yep. See, it took it into account. You had 3 unspent willpower. Your humanity gave you 2. You get 2 successes. That lets you hold off. Next time you make a rouse check, though, you're going to need 4 because if you fail a rouse at hunger 5, you need 4 to resist.
Yeah.
So you actually managed to keep your beast in check, barely. You're looking hungry here, old boy. Would you like a bite? I'm sure your man there can satisfy that.
You're not careful, I'll take a bite out of you.
Defiant to the end. Let me say, I respect that. It's a shame. I'd love to be able to go more rounds with you, but unfortunately I'm on a time limit. It seems Lucinda is in town. Does you show any shock at hearing that? Because you didn't know she was in town. I'm curious whether it shows on your face.
He's so on edge at the moment that the slight change is just a slight facial twitch. But he's so close to losing himself to the beast at this point that it's barely perceptible change.
He doesn't notice. He doesn't notice that slight change. Ah, so you've known she was in town. Interesting. Well, we're going to have to finish this. And he jumps in again. But you're ready for him. So now, you'll get to roll one last attack with the sword.
Mm-hmm.
You get to roll. Still get your -3 penalty. I'm not giving you a penalty for the leg because you're not on it anymore. You went straight to the ground rather than be on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to roll my brawl. There we go. I got to rouse him again. Because each time he does this, it's kind of funny. Poor Nolan fails his rouse checks. Tally's made all his, which is crazy. I'm not going to willpower my roll.
Okay.
He doesn't feel he needs to anymore. I think from the standpoint of his head, he's won the fight. He doesn't need to willpower now.
So I'm still at the modifier -3, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Failure. And you try to hit him one last time as he comes in. And he just bats the sword away. The weakened arm, state of the blood you're in, just you don't have enough power behind it. And he reaches out at that point. And this time, he manages to grab your head with his hands. And you feel the touch of oblivion seep into you. That's 2 more aggravated. But it also, because it's considered crippled head, can't see, can't hear now. Doesn't kill you outright, but it pretty much puts you where you can't do anything. So anyone who's watching knows, Nolan is at 4 aggravated, 2 superficial remaining.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have much left.
At this stage, will be flailing wildly with his one good arm.
Okay. I will let you roll that.
If he can catch a piece of furniture to try and bring it between himself and Tally, he will.
I'll let you roll for a hit on that. Tally doesn't expect it. I'm going to have Tally with 1 success. He didn't expect you to keep swinging after touching your head, because most people he touches on the head, they stop. So I will let you roll. You still get your -3 penalty, but I will let you roll 1 last sword attack.
Or furniture or something.
Or furniture. No, it'll be the sword, because he can't really, the table he already threw.
Okay, then.
Tally did not expect this. It surprises him. Though you can't hear it or see it, Lily can see it. 5. Nicely done, with prowess up.
Mm-hmm.
And as he stands there about to perform the killing blow, the sword lashes out 1 more time. Cuts him. Rather badly, actually, between the strength behind it, as your last bit of strength you had remaining in you. And Nolan gets that satisfied feeling. He knows he connected, and he knows he connected well. And then everything ends for Nolan as the blow comes in. Now, for the viewers out there, that last blow filled Tally's health track completely with superficial damage. He managed to completely fill that health track as Nolan expires. And Tally, in a rage at being caught like that, jumps back. And Lily, you hear him scream just unbridled anger. And he grabs a table that Nolan had threw at him, and he throws it literally on top of the body of Nolan as he decays. And as he starts mending the wounds, and you watch him mending the wounds, and he starts getting hungrier and hungrier because he's failing to mend the wounds.
Rolls for mending. Lily's walking back to the balcony while he's doing this because she's done.
As the wounds close, he gets a look in his eye of just famished hunger. And he tears into Lucian.
Mm-hmm.
And what starts off as him feeding turns into him ripping in his anger. And he both feeds and tears Lucian apart.
And she's out on the balcony just waiting and laughing.
When he's finally done, blood splattered all through the room. Table wrecked. He's still in a frenzy as he kicks tables and chairs and proceeds to trash the place until finally he gets control of that beast in him. Yes, you made him frenzy with that last hit. He hates being caught unaware by mistake, his own arrogance. When he's finally done, he goes and he grabs a piece of as a pillow and wipes the blood off of his face. Finally looks around, sees Lily on the balcony, and he steps out there.
That one gave you a run for your money, didn't he?
It's been years since one has gotten me that well.
I'd say that one had something to fight for.
Yeah. Not even a lupine hurt me like this. And he goes back inside and he grabs Kristoff's sword. I think I've earned the trophy this time.
I knew someone else who liked to collect trophies. Well, are we going now?
Yeah, let's get out of here before Lucinda shows up with friends.
Okay.
And he actually reaches out, takes your arm.
And I take his arm.
And you step into the shadows with him. Put my rouse on that. And he gets hungry. Now he's getting hungrier again. And you appear down way below the penthouse suite at a car. And there's a biker standing there. Let's go. And he gets in the vehicle. He sits in the vehicle, but you don't drive off. I know the plan's for us to go to the airport.
Yes.
My guy's going to take you.
No.
I'm not going yet.
The hell are you doing?
Yeah, Lucinda's in town. And she's going to be pursuing. I have a trap to set. And I need you to pass a message to Marcus for me.
What?
I
You know he's going to be pissed that you're changing the plan.
Fuck him. I don't appreciate what he had me do tonight.
It's mutual. I don't appreciate what he had me do.
I turned on a very valuable tool and threw him under a bus.
Yeah.
He may have jeopardized the chances of Lysander joining the Camarilla, and I know that fucker doesn't care. I understand he has his own plan, but it's important. So now I've got to go and visit goddamn Banu Akeem, the fucking Assamite, let's be honest, and call in a favor.
Good luck with that.
Oh, she owes me. But she'll do it anyway. She knows what I did tonight is...
Wrong on every level?
Yeah, I mean, you had a part in it too.
Of course I did.
What we did to Lamar.
He was nothing to me.
Oh, I understand. But he's a lot to me, and I did him dirty tonight. So
yes,
I'm going to make sure that...
You sold him out.
Like
a loyal dog.
Well, I know. And I'm going to make sure that's taken care of. So I've got some plans to set in motion. My boy here will take you wherever you need to go.
Perfect.
And then just tell him to go to the airport. But you tell Vitel I don't appreciate this one.
I doubt he'll give any shits.
And take that fucking sword with you and give it to him. See if that pleases him. Was it worth it?
Okay. Will do. I suppose I'll see you in Baltimore sometime.
Oh, I won't be long. Like I said, though, I've got to... Let's not have Lucinda chasing us all the way straight to Baltimore. She's just fucking arrogant enough to try.
Oh, she is. Most Ventru are.
And she's just about good enough to get away with it. So let's, I'm going to take care of that. And he gets out of the car. And even bloody, you see him draw. As soon as he breaks eyesight, he walks behind instead of a van, but you don't see him come out the other side of the van as he fades into the shadows to walk away.
And I tell the driver to take me in the direction of the airport, but to stop a couple blocks ahead.
Okay. Sure. Whatever. You said do what you want. And when you stop, there's actually a guy waiting there. As if he's been waiting all night for this vehicle to stop.
And I get out and I walk up to the gentleman.
And the guy has a blank look on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And he's wearing, you swear, he's in club attire of all damn things tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just came from a party.
And I legit take a little bite of my finger, put a drop of my vitae on a ring, take it off, hand it to him. Take this to the Succubus Club. Say you have a message for Portia from Lily. Tell her that significant powers are trying to interfere with her plans here, and I have everything prepared in Baltimore whenever she's ready.
Mistress sent me with a message for you. She knew when you entered town.
Of course she did.
She said she knows what you're up to tonight and finds it amusing.
She would. Give her my love.
She says you have always served well.
Of course. I know where I come from.
And he does a stiff bow as if he's not fully in control of himself or understanding what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. And I get back in the car.
Airport.
Airport.
And the two of you drive off together with this driver that's a biker that doesn't even bat an eye at most things anymore. But Lily recognizes him from DC. He's been around a while.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we're going to close this particular intermission. And I would like to thank my wife, of course, for playing Lily and bringing her back. And I'd like to thank Astro Aberration for coming here to give Peter his last stand.
Give
the
Nolan
dice,
his last stand.
Sorry, Nolan's last stand. The dice were against you on the rouse checks. You came off heavy on it, but you got your licks in. You filled up his whole bar.
That was
after
crazy.
his powers.
That was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that
Nolan punching up above
satisfaction.
his weight class and landing those hits.
Tally came in expecting no real contest.
And
Got taught right off of that one.
yeah.
And then got cocky
Good job.
and got
I'm sorry
taught
you
again.
fell, but good job.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. You know, I knew this was the outcome.
It's the
and
outcome. It had to happen.
Yeah.
From
yeah,
Tally's point of view,
outright.
the real person that took down Vitale was Theo Bell. He didn't really feel the Ventrue was that much. The big power behind it was Bell, because Bell is fucking Killer B, as the Anarchs call him.
Yeah.
I think he learned tonight that
It wasn't just Bell.
it wasn't just Bell.
Mm,
It was the whole group, and the Ventrue
Like,
were part of it.
Yeah. They had to send an entire group of Archons to go and take the guy down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it
He
wasn't
was-
just Baby Bell in there doing it. It was all of them. And Nolan can use that sword. Even one-armed crippled, he can use that sword. And I'd like to thank you for being here for your last stand. For the viewers out there, you will see Astro Aberration come back as a different character. Probably not season 4. We'll give him the break of season 4. But I would expect to see him as a new guest player in season 5. Because we love playing with him.
I'm really looking forward to it.
awesome.
I'm looking forward to see what transpires in season 4 and to rejoining you after that.
Yep. And thank you all. And stay tuned for the next intermission because we're returning right back to this scene. But from the other side, we're going to see the coterie back in the aftermath again as we finish playing that out. So I will see you all in that intermission. Welcome to this second intermission scene for our season 3 to season 4 season break here. And first scene you've seen how this room came to be in the state it's in. And now for this one, we're actually going to flash back to that same room the night the coterie was in there. We're going to actually finish the scene that stopped during the finale. And of course, I am storyteller for this scene, Shanky McStabber.
And I'm Rylindair, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat. And I'll be playing Jacqueline Duron of Clan Ventrue.
And I'm Lady Merowith, and I will be playing Eleanor Thurston, Clan Malkavian.
I'm Urian, and I'll be playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
I'm Gavin, and I play Lamar Cade of Clan Lasombra.
I'm Mickey, and I play Sam Grant, Clan Bruja.
So, where this scene led off last time, Jackie had just got off the phone, speaking to Dredd and informing him that he needed to bring the wolf pack here.
And she had grabbed some documents from
She had grabbed
Philip's
documents from the safe. Thank you. I was talking.
Sorry.
And Dredd had informed her that there was a meeting tonight with Tyrus and somebody very important. And Sam had just finally lowered the shotgun that he had pointed at Lamar. And this is where this scene picks up. And I'm turning this back over to the players.
Jackie walks back out to the main area of the suite where everyone is. Roscoe, do you have something, vials or something I can collect ash in?
Sure, I always carry a couple, and I'll reach in my jacket and hand them to Jackie.
Thank you. I'll be sure you are compensated for these.
Oh, don't worry about it.
And as I unscrew the cap off of a vial, I lean down to fill it with ash. And when I lean down, everyone needs to leave. The wolf pack and Lucinda will be here shortly.
The Justicar?
Yes.
Say less.
Yes, it'd be a good place not to be.
And she puts the vial back in its case and puts it in her bag. Etienne, take my bag to the car.
Yes, ma'am.
And escort those who are leaving down to the vehicles.
Yes, ma'am. Do you want me to bring you back the key pass to get up here, or?
Sam, give me my pass back. I take it. I've got it.
Okay, then you'll just have to open the elevator and hit the button for us, and then
Okay.
we'll go downstairs.
Yep, I will do so. I will go to the elevator.
So who all is coming with Etienne?
Roscoe will.
Lamar's out.
Sam's looking between Roscoe and Eleanor, waiting for them to get on the elevator. First in, last out.
Sam, go with Roscoe. Lamar, please. I'm staying with Jackie.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
All right, Red. You need anything, you know my number.
I do. The die is cast.
Eleanor, are you sure?
I'm certain.
Very well.
And you need me.
I take your hand as I step away from the elevator.
And Etienne takes Lamar and Roscoe and Sam down to the lobby, with Jackie actually having the key pass still to go back up to the penthouse.
No,
And-
I'm in the penthouse. I didn't leave
Right,
it.
you have it with you, right?
Mhm.
You slid it in, hit the button, held the door open, and stepped off the penthouse elevator. And we will come back to Roscoe and Sam and Lamar in a minute, but I will turn the scene over to Eleanor and Jackie while they wait.
After the elevator goes down, we will need to go down to the lobby to greet them, because they do
Yes.
not have access to this room, at least not without working some of their tricks. So it would be polite to greet them and escort them up.
Yes, of course. Very polite.
Are you certain? Because if you are here, she will make demands.
I have made my choice. And it is much more convenient for her if I am here. Yes, she does not need to hunt me down.
I squeeze your hand.
I return the squeeze.
I will do all I can
I know.
to ensure she does not harm you.
I know. will be well. In so much as it can be well.
Thank you.
If you have need of anything of me, you have but to ask. You know this.
I know. Well, let us go down.
And you step into this elevator and ride it back down. Now, we're going to we'll flash now. Perfect time to flash to Roscoe, Lamar, and Sam. And please give me a wits awareness roll for you three as you step out of the building. And I will roll for Etienne, of course. So we got 3 from Sam, 3 from... Or 3 from Roscoe, 3 from Lamar, 4 from Sam. You come out of the building, Sam. You see a very large owl happens to be circling around the building. It's doing loops around the building, and each time you see it come past, it's 1 floor higher as it circles the building.
I will pull out my phone and just a quick message to Eleanor and Jackie. Just type out, you got company coming to you, toot sweet.
And at the end, takes you over. Mr. Grant, I know you took your vehicle. I'm pretty sure
I can't drive right now.
Jacqueline will be coming
out.
out in a bit. Why don't we just climb in her vehicle and just wait out here for him?
I can't wait. Roscoe, can you drive me to the rack, please? I
Right.
need, yeah.
Let's go.
Mr. Cade, are you going to go with him? Otherwise, I'll wait here with Jacqueline's car.
Yeah, I'll go with him.
And you see him settle in behind the wheel where he's not going to be seen, but he's able to watch the front of the building. And I will let you three, if you want to have a talk while you're in the car, go ahead. And then we will flash back to the others.
First thing Sam's going to do, he's going to stow his coat with all of his accoutrement in it.
I figured you should put everything in the trunk.
Back in the trunk. And then he will hand the keys off to Roscoe and sort of sit in the back and just kind of close his eyes and do his best not to let his blood boil out of him.
All right. You got a favorite section you like?
Just somewhere where there's lots of women and lots of booze.
I can do that. Let's go. And we'll head out towards the...
You're heading towards, I assume, the Wicker Park rack. That would be the
Yeah,
closest.
we're going to the rack. Oh, fuck. This night. Fuck.
You gonna make it, Grant?
Oh, I'll always make it. It's just a matter of... You do, yeah. Fun times. You gonna make it?
Guess the worst part of it's over. I mean, unless, Jackie decides, fuck the Lasombra, which at this point, I couldn't even blame her if she wanted to do that, because situations reversed, I might feel the same way.
Happy fun story time. From not even when since I was immortal, actually. You learn quick, fast, and hurry that everyone breaks. everyone breaks. Slap on top of that, fucking Sanger's little mindfuckery bullshit that she can do.
Like she's improved a little bit since the last time I saw her.
Boy, fucking howdy. And she's gotten a lot, you know, with how Lamar made it sound earlier, it sounds like she's gotten a lot less fucking subtle about it too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why be subtle when you got Marcus Vitale backing you?
Yeah.
The long and short of it is, I ain't gonna say shit. I know Bosco ain't gonna say shit. And I know Jackie ain't gonna say shit. And I know Eleanor won't purposely say shit.
Yeah, we got you back, Lamar.
Everyone gets got and everyone breaks. I don't want to hold it against you.
Well, that's the thing about being a somber. You're not supposed to get got. You're supposed to be the one getting.
Yeah. You know, Kindred think they got the fucking monopoly on, you know, strategic fucking bullfuckery. Nah, bull pussy. People fuck. Richard the Lionheart got captured and had to be ransomed back like how many fucking times? You know, friggin' people get got. It doesn't matter where the fuck you're at. It doesn't matter how powerful you are. It just matters, you know, how far the people doing the getting are willing to go to get you got. I really like saying get got, don't I?
You do, but I understood where you were going. So
yeah, I'm very fucking hungry right now. In order to fucking get ready for a fight, I've got to fucking call on a lot of shit. And sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Right now, it's really fucking not. So find me somebody to fucking drink.
Okay.
Lamar, I may need you to be fucking wingman of me because Bosco's about as smooth as 80 grain sandpaper. I love you, man.
With that, Sam?
I don't know. He might be smoother than me, but I got your back.
You're a sweetheart, man, and that just is not conducive to freaking, you know, a one night stand.
Yeah. Okay. You got a point.
You know, you're a long haul kind of cat. Which is why I love you.
Back at you, man. All right. Looks like we're here. You see anything you like?
It's that one right there. Just
okay.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna talk to her, and if shit starts looking like it's going sideways, LC, back me up.
Gotcha.
And Sam will exit the car and
as your hunt for the night, of course, you had 3 successes on your hunting roll in the rack, which is more than enough. So we're gonna flash out of this one. You have a successful hunt, which is good because you were at 4 hunger and it could be a very dangerous time. We're going to flash back to Eleanor and Jackie as they wait in the lobby.
I am actually going to mesmerize the front men.
Okay.
So let me roll that.
And what are you going to hit them with the command?
Oh, I've got the command. Don't you worry about that. That is manipulation plus dominate. Need to add my...
You don't have to roll.
Oh, I don't. That's right. It's unsuspecting.
A mortal that is not prepared for a dominate
and
power.
And he's familiar with me.
Right. Does not get a roll against dominate.
So I'm going to mesmerize him and say, Sean, we are having a private party. I would like for you to switch on the no vacancies sign and take your break.
Okay. And he looks at you a minute, looks at his watch, looks at you. I mean, we don't have no vacancies, but I'll go take my break.
Take a break.
Sounds like a good plan. I need one anyway.
You look a little tired.
It's a little slow right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually wanders off from the door.
Perfect.
And it gets an eye from the person at the desk, but not much of one because it looks like that
I
this happens.
also mesmerized that one too.
Okay. Well, then you'll need to make 2 rouse checks because mesmerize is a rouse check for each one.
I will do a rouse. I did not mean to do a 1 on that.
Didn't mean to +1 it?
Yeah, I didn't mean to
Okay,
+1 it.
rouse it. Try a re-rouse. There you go.
So
And you got slightly hungry.
Yep, I'm at 3.
Mm-hmm. And your beast speaks. This is your chance. You can finally throw that Sabat cast off under the bus. Solve all the problems.
She just grins and looks at the desk clerk. Michael, we are having a private party upstairs. Why don't you go ahead and take your break?
I mean, normally I can't leave the desk empty, but it is late.
I don't expect anyone will be coming in looking for a room.
No, probably not. Just, he puts up a little sign, ring bell,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanders off too.
Perfect. Now, Eleanor, we can await our guests.
Yes. I'm certain they'll be here soon.
20, 30 minutes pass before the door opens. And in steps a woman you've never met before, but you know by description.
And reputation.
And reputation, right? You recognize who she is without having met her. And behind this woman, on her left side, is a man in dark hair, short cropped, wearing a suit, completely unremarkable though. You've met him earlier this night. And actually, Eleanor, you saw him across the street from Jackie's not long ago too. You recognize this individual. But on the other side of her is a woman. She's willow thin. Short cropped blonde hair with a floral print blouse and loose pants. And then striding in behind those, you see, of course, Tyrus, Nitro, and Dread. And Tyrus looks his normal serious self. Dread actually looks very serious. And Nitro's eyes are darting around the room like she expects attack at any minute.
I step forward, and I nod in deference. Just in case there are cameras, I don't wish for there to be, full curtsy. And I say, thank you for coming as quickly as you have.
And you see the man lean over and whisper in Justicar Lucinda's ear. And her eyes flick briefly to Eleanor.
I smile.
Jacqueline,
Yes,
show me.
of course. This way to the elevator.
Thank you. And she follows. Tyrus doesn't say anything. Dread doesn't say anything. Nitro doesn't say anything. Neither do the two people with her.
And I put my card in the elevator, hold the door open while everyone enters. And once everyone's in, I close it and we ride up.
And as you're riding up, Gregory has already
Gregory?
has already informed me of the condition of the penthouse suite. But
Yes, it is in quite a state.
we'll talk when we get out of the elevator.
Absolutely.
And when the door opens at the top, you can hear a small growl from Tyrus as it opens into this blood-splattered area. Lucinda walks off.
I await for everyone to exit the elevator before I do.
Lucinda looks around. Michaela and Natasha, wait by the elevator. Tyrus, take Antheus and Nadine. And I want you to go back downstairs and watch the lobby, please. And Tyrus kind of looks like he's about to say something, but then he apparently thinks better of it. Yes, Justicar.
I will insert my card again, hit the lobby button, and step out of the elevator so
And-
they can ride down.
Dread's eyes linger on you a bit as you're going down. Seems to have a bit of worry on his face. Tyrus has a scowl. He's not happy at being sent from the room.
When Dredd sees her, he can see that the waterline of her eyes has gone red, as if she is holding back blood tears. But her composure is completely flat.
Lucinda, as it departs. Who was it?
Tally.
No, who was...
Oh, the Archon.
Yes.
He was under the alias of Philip Carlson, named as Archon under the name of Nolan Wilhelm. My sire.
One of Justgar Purse.
Yes, my sire.
Well, that I know as well. And you say Tally did this?
Tally did this.
How do you know?
I have my sources. And he was also on the balcony when I arrived to blow me a kiss before he stepped off.
Always was an arrogant shit.
Yes, he is a cocky motherfucker.
Yes, he is. One that I've tried to deal with before. Quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But
it goes like this. Some months ago, Philip arrived in the city, seeking hospitality, because he was on the run from enemies he felt had sussed out his identity. He did not reveal to me which enemies those were, but I offered, of course, my hospitality. Helped protect him as I could. It became apparent to me that something had happened to him over recent years because he was making irrational decisions at times. He came to my club about, I look at Eleanor, was it 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago?
Around 2.
2 weeks ago. And I, of course, maintained the facade that we had established of being friends in passing, but nothing serious. And when he came to speak to me, I told him that it was a mistake. He should have summoned me to him if he wished my company. And that night, someone spotted him. It was obvious. Then shortly thereafter, Eleanor here had a vision of a black hellhound attacking a white horse. This hellhound had jeweled fangs with garnets or rubies, very red. And at the end of the vision, there was no horse, no hound, but there was ash and a scepter on the ground. It was brought to my attention that the hound was very likely a nickname that Tally goes by. I warned Philip so that he could run. He opted to take my words of wisdom and duly ignore them. And I point to the ashes, and there he lays. I had an informant tell me that Tally was on his way this evening to do the deed upon the word of a toreador from Baltimore named Lillian Sanger. That informant was delayed in getting this information to me, and they will suffer the consequences for it.
I know that name. There was problems with her about 2 years ago in the past. I don't agree with how that situation was handled, but I was not the one who handled it, so. Michaela. And the man steps away, and you see him step over to where you had pointed that Nolan had fallen. And he stands there for a bit. Natasha, and you see her nod her head, and her eyes glaze over. So this is all new tonight. I assume you know why he was targeted.
Yes. It was
Makes
on
sense.
order of Marcus Vitel.
Oh. As soon as you said Tally.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
I was in D.C. up until that attack. I know why.
Can't have gotten far. I'll have the Wolfpack and Gregory out tonight, looking. He has a head start. I don't think he's brave enough to cross the Goblin roads, though. Not by himself. And that Miss Sanger person, she's definitely not the type to cross the Goblin roads. So he can't have gotten far yet. You say it was an informant who told you.
Indeed.
And who was this informant?
No.
Excuse me.
If I am to do my duty to Juliet, I must protect my sources.
Okay, I'm going to have you roll, I don't know, it sounds like a manipulation roll? Manipulation persuasion?
I am saying this to adjust a car. Composure persuasion.
I will allow you to take that one. That sounds like a good way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got 5 successes and can't actually willpower that because you have
Nope.
5 on all your normal dice.
I have all my normal dice are successes.
I understand.
They will be handled. However, I can inform you who was the one that spotted him and likely referred it to Tally. Or possibly Vitel.
And you know this?
I was there that night. I saw that person do it and leave right after Philip.
And who would that be?
Ciara Van Buren, head of the L'Assemblée delegation.
I suppose I'll have to have a talk with her. See what she knows. Natasha comes over. Definitely was a fight here. Lily did not participate. She merely watched. Tally did all the work. Give Michaela a few more minutes. He takes a while to do what he does.
Indeed. Would you like for me to perform cleanup after you are done?
We will handle it. It's not that I don't trust you. I know by reputation you're quite skilled. But I have decisions to make about who I notify in this city of what happened. If I notify people in this city of what happened.
I will leave that to you.
And I suggest anyone who was here with you needs to understand the decision will be made by me whether to relay to other people what happened tonight. I'm sure you understand the problem.
I do.
This is the jewel of the Camarilla.
Of course it is.
Word gets out that Tally picked off an Archon in the middle of the city and got away.
By 6 blocks from the prince's domain.
Exactly.
I understand the impacts of that, and I respect your decision, whatever it may be.
And Jackson will, of course, be notified. But I have a feeling it won't become public knowledge. And if it does, well, I know who to come speak with.
Of course, and it will not be me. Because my people will not.
And you notice both of you, both Eleanor and Jackie, Michaela seems to be talking to himself now. Having an animated discussion. Very softly. But you definitely see the words, he said Nolan at least 2 or 3 times. Mentioned Parr's name even. And Tally's. We will have to have a talk here shortly. Eleanor, they said your name was?
Yes, ma'am.
We have something to discuss. Once Michaela is done.
Yes, ma'am.
He finally stopped speaking. I spoke with Nolan. It was Tally, and it was retaliation. He tried. He injured him. Tally came in through the balcony, bringing that Sanger woman. Killed his ghoul first. But I got some info out of him. Justicar Lucinda nods her head. So, we have Tally in town. And Sanger. And we also have Dolly. Tell me about them, Eleanor.
What shall I say? I only spent a short time with them long ago. They are particular in their ways. They conceive of themselves as like the wind or a natural force of the world.
I have chased this one a while. I would be remiss if I didn't say in some ways they were like the wind. I have tried to catch this one. Many cities. Always just slips away.
Yes.
That's why Natasha is here. Natasha is going to help me. And I believe you have your choice. Are you going to help me willingly? Or no, you will help me.
My assistance is yours willingly, ma'am.
And Natasha actually steps over to you and she places her hands on both sides of your head. You don't feel anything. You don't feel anything about her. And then she steps back.
Jackie's watching this very fucking closely.
And she looks over at Lucinda and nods. The blood is strong. The link's there. We can use it. And for the first time this evening, Lucinda gets a smile. Positively dangerous smile. Good.
Justica,
Yes, Jacqueline.
if you can find it, that you are capable of preventing Eleanor from being irreparably harmed in this endeavor, I would consider that a great favor and repay it in kind.
And she looks over at Natasha. Natasha shakes her head no. Very well. I'll have to have assistance that's not here tonight to do this.
Thank you.
Natasha is good, but not that good. The one I seek happens to be in town, so he will be of assistance. He always has been.
And at that, Jackie gives her a full curtsy.
Lucinda actually looks you square in the eye, Eleanor. It's not going to be pleasant. It won't hurt. Not with what he has, his method. But it will not be pleasant.
I understand. And I, without breaking eye contact, also curtsy.
So you are prepared for it. It's going to involve false memories, false signals. to send through the web.
That would be the only way.
Well, the only way to do it without damaging you permanently.
Yes.
I must
that
warn
is-
you, though, if his method does not work, we will use Natasha's method. And I'm afraid, well, her methods are rather more brutal.
I understand.
Jackie makes note of Natasha's face.
Natasha's face is same kind of face she's had the whole time. Slight smile. Doesn't seem fazed by any of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just making a mental catalog of it. Just in case.
We will be in touch. I have to contact. Well, actually, oddly enough, your grandsire.
What?
Yes, you did not know he was in the city, huh?
No.
Not surprised. He doesn't reveal himself. But he's a source of information who has always done what I've asked him.
Is he much like Dolly
No,
in aspect?
no. He claims neutrality, but it's a lie. If he was neutral, he wouldn't speak to me. He is a force of balance. He is the one who, guess you could say, he tries to keep the game going.
I see.
He finds it amusing. The Tower and the Anarchs and the Sabbat. We all keep each other busy. And because of it, humanity survives a bit longer. Humanity prospers a bit more than they would. And he likes to keep it that way. I've told him he's a fool, but he's not. And he owes a debt for creating your sire.
I see.
I don't think you understand. I don't mean created your sire by embrace.
No. I think I do understand.
He created the monster. We will see each other soon. And so you understand, you are committed in this. Whether you know it or not, you will be watched.
I understand.
And you will be
I
followed to
expect
make
it.
sure that they don't come to see you without us knowing. Though, it's hard to find them. That was always the problem. And you see her lean over and whisper something in Natasha's ear, and Natasha nods. She still has that same slight smile on her face. Michaela, are you going to clean this up? Yes, mistress, I can do that. Good. Jacqueline Durand, we will be in touch.
Of course.
And I guess I would be remiss if I didn't say condolences on your sire. He was a good man in his day,
Indeed he was.
and the clan will be lesser without him.
Thank you. She puts her card in the elevator to press the lobby button and actually hands the card out. Would you like this?
Of course. I assume you've taken anything personal that you wish to have from him.
Absolutely.
Give it to Natasha.
And Jackie will hand it to Natasha.
Okay.
Come, Eleanor. Let's go.
Yes. I step into the elevator with her.
And Natasha actually gets on the elevator as well and rides down with you. And when you come into the lobby, of course, Tyrus, Dread, and Nitro are conveniently staking out, watching all the main avenues of approach to get near the elevator. When you step out of the elevator, Dread takes about a step towards you and then stops when he sees Natasha, and he takes a step back. Tyrus looks over. I guess I'll find out from her, right? I figured. And Natasha looks at him and says, you will find out now. You will take your wolf pack and you will spread out and find Tally. Tyrus's head shoots over and looks.
Indeed. He left approximately 40 minutes ago from the balcony.
Let's go. And Dread, with one more glance as he leaves the room with Tyrus and Nitro, looks back at you, and then you can hear the motorcycles cranking up.
As he looks back at me, I say in perfect Greek, "Thank you."
He just nods as he's right behind Tyrus.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume Eleanor at this point, Eleanor and Jackie exit to the vehicle. And Etienne, of course, immediately when he sees you coming out of the building, you can see him standing by the vehicle. He gets out of the vehicle and opens the doors. And by the way, so you know, it wasn't just Tyrus and Nitro and Dread. There was about 15 other bikes that you saw pull out of an alley nearby that fell in behind him as they rolled off. As the wolf pack was enforced tonight. Ma'am? You okay?
What a silly question to ask.
Well.
Let's take Eleanor home.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you not need me?
It would be better if I grieve alone.
I understand. And I take your hand and both of mine and hold it.
And Etienne gets and starts driving. Eleanor, do you have him take you right to your haven? I don't know if we've established Jackie has been to your haven yet.
Jackie knows where it is.
Yes,
I was
but have
gonna
you been
Jackie
to it?
may not have been up there, but she knows where it is.
Okay, so I will turn it over for you two if you wish to have a scene together before we've got one or two other things to cover before this ends.
If there is anything I can do. Of course, you must take as much time as you need. But you know how to find me and get in contact with me.
Of course. Of course.
I'll have upper cakes waiting when you're ready.
Thank you, Eleanor. And she hugs you and actually starts to cry a little bit.
I return the hug and just put my hand in the back of your head. Just give you space to cry if you want to or not.
I tried and failed.
You tried. It was not your failure. He did not listen to you. That was his choice.
How do you do it? Keep going when no one listens.
Why, I do not know. A particular brand of persistence, perhaps.
Share a little bit of that with me.
If you like. If it would help to taste it.
Not right now. Not right now. But thank you.
would I could just bestow it upon you. But it has not been easy even for me. I understand a little, and yet I do not understand at all what you are feeling. Only that it must be great.
We were lovers for the better part of a century. Then he became an Archon, and it changed everything.
It would.
Indeed.
I liked him, what little I had saw of him, not knowing who he really was.
He was magnificent, especially at his best. Let me text the boys. Let them know not a word is spoken of what happened tonight.
Okay. And you send that text? Lamar, oddly enough, tonight, you actually get the complete text. Very odd for you.
Well, my last phone was actually taken prior.
Oh, that's
to
right.
this.
You don't have a phone right now.
No.
So you're the only one who doesn't get it, but you're still with Sam and Roscoe at this point.
Mhm.
Hunting.
Well, that was I guess Lamar and I are still in the car while Sam's doing his business.
You're probably not in the car. You're probably nearby, just keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't wig out and start eating everybody.
Make sure no one happens into that particular alley or something.
Yeah, it keeps us from getting hit.
Okay, so y'all have a real creepy time just watching Sam do his thing. Because, how he feeds is rather risque.
But Jackie said to watch you.
Yeah. Full Monty for the two E's. But afterwards, Sam checks his phone and just types back, "No shit. We need to get together and discuss going forward."
Jackie responds back, "Give me a few nights."
And of course, we fill in Lamar, even though he didn't get the text.
Yeah, a few nights would be a real good idea right now.
Yeah, I think we're all a little afraid right now. Roscoe, if you want to take the car, just park it back at the club. I've got to get back to my business.
Understood. You have no idea. Driving over here, I was scared of getting the slightest scratch on your ride, man, because that would have just ended it right there.
Yeah, don't fuck up, baby. But nah, I trust y'all.
You good now?
Yeah. Here, before we meet back up with Jackie, somebody's going to have to explain to me what the fuck all just went down, because honestly, I know about 25% of everything that just happened, or the importance of everything that just happened. Not a discussion we need to have right now. If you're stressed out, go do your thing, but you know what I'm saying.
So, yeah, I'll give you the short version when you're ready for it. But yeah, it's one of those things that can cause some ripples depending on how it plays out from here.
Yeah. All right, guys. Bosco, you got my car. Lamar, you can drop her wherever you want to be dropped at. I got to get back to business. Dilly-dallied long enough.
And Lamar, at the end of this evening, when you return to your hidey hole, because you're not really staying at your main haven, there's a woman standing outside of it, waiting on you. She's kind of tall, Tall for a woman for sure, 6'1". She's got a dark tinge to her skin. It's not extremely dark, but you would place her probably North African or Southern European in that area. And she's actually wearing street clothes of all things. But she's leaning against the building, just obviously waiting on you. Mr. Cade. And when
Good
she
evening.
speaks, she has a French accent of all things. I was sent to deliver you a message. And she pulls an envelope out.
Can you set it right there on the?
Oh,
Yeah, just
of
set
course.
it right there. I don't like it when people hand me things.
She lays it down. Jumpy, are you?
It's been an evening.
No. Sure it has. I don't know what's in that letter. I'm not allowed to read it. If I read it, it wouldn't end well for me. I was told to inform you, read it, and then drop it. I wouldn't read it inside your place. I have a feeling I know what she meant when she said drop it. It'll probably burst into fire after you're done. Oh, yeah, that's right. She said one other thing. She hands you a rock that she pulls from her pocket.
Right there. Thank you.
I'll put it here. The letter must explain it, because otherwise she wouldn't have given me a rock.
Who is she? Do I get to know who she
I'm afraid
is?
not.
Do you know?
I know who she is. I'm afraid not. I was told not to tell you that yet.
Okay.
I'm sure you just read the letter. It'll make all sense.
All right, then. I mean, you're not supposed to watch me read
No,
it.
of course not.
Okay.
I've done my part.
All right. Well, you have a good rest of your night.
Bonjour. And she turns around and walks off.
Lamar pulls out his gloves and puts them on.
Okay.
And then he will go and open the letter. And
The letter has an actual
Really?
wax seal. You haven't seen those in a while. You don't recognize the symbol on it at all. It's one you've never seen before.
old school. All right. He'll crack the seal. And then
There's a flowing script inside. It says, Mr. Cade, my advice for you tonight. As if asked, tell them everything. Make sure to bring up he was behind the lupine attacks. Don't hold anything back. Give it all to them. And your position will be assured. P.S. If you need my assistance, put the rock in a bowl of water and add a drop of your blood. And leave a message. I will get back to you.
well, if this ain't the most low-tech beeper I ever saw in my life. Is there a signature on the letter or
Nope.
Okay. He'll read it once more just to make sure he's got all the information from it, and then he'll put it back in the envelope and drop it right there on the.
As soon as it
He'll drop it in the middle of the street.
As soon as it leaves your hand, it starts to smolder.
He will get away from that.
And doesn't take but 3 or 4 seconds before it just bursts into flames, burning itself up and consuming itself.
He picks up the rock and he will put it in his in the pocket of his jacket for the time being.
Okay. And I think this is where we'll end this intermission. And I'd like to thank the players for coming back to finish this rather tense scene that we had to play out. But now I think we're ready for season 4. So I hope to see you all there. And I know the players hope to see you all there, because shit's going down, people. Thank you, everyone. Watch the Shanky outro after this. Good night. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's intermissions. I think it sets a scene perfectly for us starting in season 4 with our premiere 2 weeks from now. Of course, pop over to our Discord, go over to the Discord, and you can actually chat with members of this cast and just hang out with us. We have a great community over there. We actually cast all of our shows right from the Discord. So when you see a show on this channel, those people are on our Discord and they got in because they applied. So just to point that out for everybody, it's a great community. We do monthly community games. It's not bad. It's great. A lot of fun. We all have fun. So if you like what this channel is doing, of course, you can give us a follow here on Twitch. You can give us a subscribe on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course, hit the subscribe buttons. That way you can keep track of what we have coming up and watch all of our great content. Of course, if, you want to give anything to the players that played tonight, bits and donations always go to the players. They don't go to the studio. So that's a way for the viewers to show their appreciation of, our players. Check out our chat right now. You got a list of friends. These are other channels that we like to, give props to. So just check them out. Take a look on it. Get your Season 3 Windy City After Dark merch. Got Season 4 merch coming as well. We've got an updated movie poster to reflect a new member of the cast. We've got a new coffee mug to reflect the Season 4 character lineup. So please pop over, get your merch, get hold of some of that stuff, have fun. If you want to catch our back content for us or Call of Cthulhu, Haunted Chronicles, any of our content right now in chat, there's links to YouTube. So just pop over there, click on the links, and check out our back content, of course. Now, our schedule this week is actually rather interesting. We got a busy week this week. Of course, Monday at 8 p.m., Tamshu is back with a 10 Candles one-shot. So show Tamshu some love. We're glad to see him back. And let's watch some 10 Candles. We know how it's going to end because 10 Candles always end poorly, but it's the journey, not the destination that counts. Tuesday, of course, we've got Werewolf the Apocalypse, Phoenix's Call at 8 p.m. Eastern. Once again, we're back to see if Ravinia is planning to off all of her characters. They're in a pretty tense spot right now. This episode determines whether there's going to be 8 episodes this season or 10 episodes this season. So that should tell you just how bad things are. Of course, Wednesday, we've got a special one-shot of You Will Destroy Something Beautiful. It's a great independent game. Verlyn is the Something Beautiful. She's the one running the game, the facilitator for it. But I am actually one of the players. This is the first time I've gotten to be a player in a game run by my lovely wife. So if you want to come see myself, Timber Brad, and Zim the Mattress, who some of you may remember from Dead of Night or the Haunted Chronicles Stuffed series that ran over on Onyx Path, he's in it as well. We get up to some great chaos, and it really came out great. Of course, then next Sunday, come back here for Windy City After Dark, Season 3 summary. Your boy Twitch will be here at 5 p.m. Eastern to give you a summary of how, the previous season went. So you'll get to find out all the info, get caught up if you've missed any episodes. And more importantly, he likes to drop little teasers and hints about things that, you may not have seen yet. He's funny that way, isn't he? He always is trying to give away things. Of course, as always, please everyone, mental health, it's no joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please check in on family, check in on friends, check on loved ones, make sure they're okay because a lot of people aren't right now. And you may get to be the lifeline that they need in their life to keep them off the edge. And if you do suffer from mental health issues like many of us do, including myself, please, if you need to talk to somebody, don't hesitate to reach out and talk to them. And if you feel you don't have anyone in your life that you can reach out and talk to, please, right now in chat, there's a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where someone will speak to you without judgment, without, any pressure to try to help you out. Because everyone, mental health, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. If you're one of our European viewers, of course, there's also a website in chat right now that you could go to that will show you what the support things are in your country, because everyone, it's a bad time and a lot of people need help and a lot of people just need someone to listen to them or to talk to them for a little bit. So please, there's nothing wrong with mental health and being aware of it. So please take care of yourselves. And as always as well, please get your COVID shot. Shit's going crazy. We're going to be getting into the winter where traditionally all this illnesses go up, which is going to spike COVID again. And we're going to end up spending another whole winter in lockdown. Please, that's some bullshit. Get your damn shots. Let's get it taken care of. Let's beat this, okay? So from the cast of this wonderful show, I do thank you all. And I can't wait for season 4. We've got a new character coming in. We've got some storylines that are about to get crazy. There's some stuff that's going to be quite interesting when it comes up. Some shockers for the viewers out there for sure. But I just can't wait for it to start. So I hope to see you all here with your boy Twitch next week as he does his season summary. Of course, he's also prone to answering questions in character from viewers in the chat at the time that have questions. So I thank you all, and good night.